If you're over 100K a month run rate, this is the number one mechanism that's going to solve all of your problems. And guess what? It has nothing to do with your business. This is a hidden secret vehicle for health that will break all paradigms that you have. And that's the goal of this video. It's for me to help you and to provide value to you, because I'm already doing this for 7+ figure entrepreneurs, which is show you and deliver a mechanism for health, for achieving and gaining back over 60 extra hours a month. And that's just one benefit. And it solves all your problems, everything from focus to longevity to determination, everything. It's the cheapest option. And today we're going to be breaking that down. And I hate those videos where they always like put the cardboard and they pull it off. So boom, I've just laid it all out for you, but let's take it one step at a time. Let's just focus on the top row first. So here are all the mechanisms that you want to consider that your health has to do with. Eating. We're going to start with eating, for example, because that's the simplest thing to decode. And it's not just about eating, it's about training, physiotherapy, breathing, sleeping, all mechanics of health, all things that we depend on our bodies, essentially. And that is health. And for eating specifically, you want to consider the cost, your focus, the time, your dedication, your team, your kids and your family, your partner, your longevity. And then obviously we're all familiar with the Warren Buffett curve, and I'll explain what these red lines are in a second here. But these are the current vehicles for achieving just eating in an efficient way, instead of because you can't, there's no way you can be cooking or cleaning. It's costing you 40 to 60 hours a month. If you're a serious entrepreneur, you have to, like it's time to really focus on all these aspects in order to really scale. You can't be doing something that somebody does for $15 an hour unless, like cooking and cleaning is not something really notable. I mean, a chef's a different distinction. A proper nanny is a different distinction. That's why we pay them well, which I'll explain in a second. But you're doing the job of somebody that is worth $15 an hour. Multiply your rate by 40 to 60. That's a real representation of how much time you're losing. You've probably tried one of these things, or you're doing one of these things, or you're familiar with them. We have Uber Eats, a meal prep service, a private chef, or your partner or somebody cooking for you. Now, there is a problem with each of these modalities, and this is the problem. Sure, Uber Eats is fast and it's low effort, but the quality of ingredients declines. It's not good. It's styrofoam, it's plastic, it's restaurants want to make a profit. Like the quality is going to be reduced, and that sacrifices one or all of these pillars. It sacrifices your longevity, it sacrifices your time with your kids. If you're eating junk or bad food, for example, it's going to sacrifice that. It's going to sacrifice your focus, your dedication. But because you love money, you focus on these two things. And Uber Eats solves these two things, check mark, but it doesn't solve the other problems. And what I'm saying is we have an offer that's proven, that is currently working for 7+ figure entrepreneurs and beyond, that is solving all these problems and actually bringing you to the point where your exponential curve is here. It's not here, it doesn't crash early, it gets up there. Let's try another one, meal prep. Sure, low effort, low quality, like mid-quality-ish, but the status is pretty gross as well. It just comes in plastic containers. You kind of like you're like a dog, you just eat the same thing. And there's also the whole other aspect. You have shit to do in the home that isn't worth your time. Remember, don't forget that. Laundry, folding your bed sheets, organizing your closet, potentially refurnishing, fixing things, maintenance requests, dropping off your things at the suit drop off, picking up parcels, just shit around the home. Like that you can, if you're really looking to scale, outsource. And you're really looking to get to here, you want to outsource them because your time is worth a lot. Hopefully that's making sense so far. The last two, these are the objections we see the most. Like I said, the chef doesn't handle the cleaning. Cleaning doesn't usually handle the chef. So the chef is missing out and you're not saving all that much money, and it's high status, but it's really high cost. Partner or somebody in your household also doing this for you is good. However, there comes a point where you want to be face to face with them and enjoy the same experiences, especially if you've worked so hard in your life where you want your partner to enjoy and not have to worry about like cleaning up after you or doing any of those things. You want that to be taken care of as opposed to them just doing everything. And if that works for you, that's awesome. Then this offer isn't for you. If your partner is okay with like cooking and cleaning and doing all of that, you wouldn't benefit from the housekeeper chef stuff immediately. But what I would say is it's a pro chef, it's also a pro cleaner, and you want to be eye to eye with your partner, and you want to live the same experience or them to have a similar experience as to the one that you've built for yourself because you built it for both of them. These are also missing one key component of our offer here, which is the personalized testing. This is the make it or break it piece for your health, because if you're feeling any sort of feedback right now from your body, maybe you have a strain, maybe you have some bad sleep, you have bad breathing, etc. That's a symptom, and the symptom has a root cause, and that root cause can only be identified with science, not with guesswork. The problem is in health, there's very few times when we're actually using guesswork, like DEXA scan, body composition, analysis, blood work, gut testing, genetics to uncover the true root cause of the problem. And when we miss out this personalized piece, all this falls apart. We won't know what we're supposed to be eating to balance out our hormones for our focus. We're going to be wasting time throwing and aiming darts at the wall blindly because we haven't identified how to fix our stomach, for example. We can't be dedicated because our testosterone is low. All these things. Your team, you're not that sharp, the team isn't there. There's a lot of pillars. If you really want to live long, you have to understand what your body is saying and how you're decoding that, etc. Now, the magic piece is not these things separate, and it's not just this piece, it's them together. So for example, the only reason why this matters is because if you do a blood test and it says a couple of things, based on that blood test, we implement the meal plan to be reminiscent with the housekeeper chef in the home. So you have somebody come to your home, they'll cook everything, they'll clean everything for you, they'll fold your laundry nicely, just like how mine is folded nicely right here. Nice, there's the bike. But they'll do all that for you, and then afterwards, they'll also be implementing a plan on the back end that's based on our data that we collected for you, if that's something that you're looking to explore. So very simple, wealth product here, health product here. The magic comes when you combine them, and that's exactly what the third puzzle piece is of our offer. We are the ones that click play. We're the ones that find the doctors, the geneticists to overview the testing process, to write the scripts, to consult with you. We're the ones that program the training, the meal plans, the mobility exercises, the physio, like everything from mobility, movement to sleep. If we go to sleep, we keep track of all the sleep scores. Here, what was my latest sleep score? 81, 87, 91. Resting heart rates, what am I, 47-ish. I'm also programming my cycling stuff. So if we go to our cycling, VO2 max 59. And this is just one aspect of how we track live data coming in. Because let's be realistic, in 20 to 40 years, we're going to have little robots living in us that'll tell us, oh, this is your exact blood pressure. Oh, this is your exact way you reacted to eating fish versus eating beef. We're going to have those aspects, and we're going to be able to measure what our bodies are telling us right now. Humans as a whole suck at interpreting what our bodies are telling us right now holistically and putting that to work. We're pretty good at testing it, but the test just falls flat on its face, because once you have the test, once you have your blood work with a ton of numbers, no one's going to tell you what to do. No doctor, no one. It's very difficult to put that to work. And putting it to work involves not only the information that's gathered from this, but a holistic lens. If you want to do a marathon and you pick up a run trainer, but you forgot that you have a pulled hamstring, and you pull the hamstring and you have to go to the physio, your physio and trainer won't talk instinctively. They'll just kind of be separate. They'll be unholistic. That's another problem. That's why they need to be combined. So what we do is we combine your whole team in one place, everyone that you need to achieve your goals, depending on if you want the wealth product or the health product. So that would be me, my business partner, geneticist, doctor, trainer if you need one, masseuse if you need one, and everyone's in a Slack channel coordinating. We'll do all of your body testing and store it in our secure database and interpret it holistically. So we'll look at bloods, we'll look at gut, we'll look at live data, whatever source of data that we can interpret, that we can collect from you, we look at and we incorporate that into the plans. So we give that to our first piece, which is the person that I find, it's either a chef cleaner or a housekeeper chef. So somebody that's good with kids that mainly relates more to cleaning versus a pro chef that elevates your status. And this solves all of these problems. And I'll explain that in a second. And we converse with the in-home wealth product to continuously expand the amount of output that you can get by using your body as the vehicle for that, and using us as the vehicle for using your body to achieve health. Hopefully that makes sense. So let's continue to break it down so that we fully understand what's going on. Housekeeper chef starts at 1K bi-weekly, one person, 2 visits a week. Like I said, they'll do all the laundry, the cooking, the cleaning, everything. So it's one of the lowest cost options. You can do the math on your Uber Eats bill. You have that handy on you. You can do the math on your meal prep, your chef, etc. It's fast. Like when I'm on meetings, the housekeeper chef will knock on my door, give me my food. Joel's a beast. Really low effort on my part. I don't really need to do anything. They're using my data and the goals that I have with my fitness to put that into work. So I'm doing this service for myself, obviously. And it completely kicks everything in terms of status. I don't even want to go to restaurants anymore. I just would rather have people over and have private chef dining at home. It's a no-brainer. It's amazing. And then we'll do a little experiment. Multiply your hourly rate by 60. Like we said, it takes around 40 to 60 extra hours off. And the personalized bodily testing piece, well, I'm not going to lie to you. It's going to take time, like we talked about, to measure the exact time using an actual modality so that I'm not lying to you about how much focus, how much dedication, how much team presence, how much time you have with the kids. Like all these things are invaluable that you gain back once you decode what your body is trying to tell you. You put that to work without you having to lift a finger. No dishwashing, never looking at trying to build a training plan again, never being lost, never falling off track, this system works for you. For all information, go to optimability.com, and that's exactly what we've done. A little bit about myself and my story. Like I said, spent 18 years in active physiotherapy relearning how to walk. And luckily, one of our first clients was Nathan Nazareth. And when we were fitness coaching him, we really went in there and we tried to deliver a great experience for him. But realistically speaking, at one point he was like, guys, I'd rather you do all this for me. So as I transgressed from out of immobility into natural bodybuilding, into Ironman triathlon, into all these different endeavors for myself, I realized that it's not about just performance. It's not about just training plans. It's not about sleep. It's all these things are separate and they're all over the place. And we have to, kind of grab them out of thin air and put them together in a way that's digestible. There's so many pieces to sleep, for example. There's so many aspects to the heart. There's so many ways that the body burns calories, steps, HRV, measuring our power, measuring how well we recover, measuring our breaths. These are just things that are a very small fraction of other problems that can impact our health. What if we have a fractured femur? Or what if we have one side of the body that's weaker than the other? We see that all the time with clients where their muscle mass is imbalanced. There are all these aspects and there are all these things that we are ignorant about on a day-to-day basis simply because we haven't evolved far enough to understand and decode our biology and what our bodies are telling us or trying to communicate to us in real time. But that doesn't mean that these things aren't happening, and we need a vehicle to maximize how we achieve those things in our day-to-day life to achieve our dream life and make sure that we don't end up cutting our life short and sacrificing any of these things, especially the things that matter most to you. We'll do another breakdown in a separate video. I'll break down the testing piece, and then that way that will provide a lot of clarity on, sure, the modality of nutrition, but now for training.